Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex, and today I'm taking you guys on a new journey. This is going to be the start of a vlog series. If you watched my last vlog, you'll know that I got my blood test results back and mostly everything looked like it was in optimal range except for two things. So my fasting glucose was in normal range for standard lab ranges, but if you've been around for a while, we know here that normal does not always mean optimal. So fasting glucose is like 91 and ideal range is like 70s to 80s. It's quite far outside of that range. Like since I have been getting my fasting glucose tested, I think since 2018, it has never been that low. So I think one really big contributor for me is stress. And then also my leptin is high. So that is also a metabolic thing. And when your leptin is high, it's because you have leptin insensitivity. When your leptin is elevated, often you are having trouble losing weight. Your body is kind of holding on to weight and it can interfere with reproductive signaling. And as you guys know from my last vlogs, I've had a few really long cycles. And I know from testing on in Nido lately that my FSH is not high. So this is not an issue with my ovarian reserve. This is an issue with the brain ovary connection that I'm having. So I'm going to be taking a few steps to try and remedy this, and I'm going to be taking you along with all the things that I do. First thing that I'm going to do is I am going to be working on my stress levels. Second thing is that I am going to be incorporating lots of little hacks to bring my fasting glucose down. Stress can elevate glucose by something called, I think it's called glucose dumping, where when you're stressed, even though your insulin sensitivity is good, your liver dumps glucose into your bloodstream and it's just too much glucose for your cells to absorb, and so it kind of stays in your blood. So that is something, and also leptin can be elevated when your cortisol is too high. And I know I've had my cortisol tested before. It's dysfunctional. It is often high. My stress levels are often high. So I need to work on that. And so I'm going to be working on the stress levels and I'm going to be working on the glucose levels, and you guys are going to be coming along for that. So I have to be working on stress, metabolic stuff, and just like lots of other little hacks to bring these things down into optimal range, because when I get pregnant, and I'm saying when, I want these things to be in good range. I don't want to be having gestational diabetes. I don't want to be dealing with a difficult pregnancy. It's been hard enough for me to get to a place where I can get pregnant. I do not want to have a difficult pregnancy also. So we're prepping our body, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Just checking in last night. What I did to help with my stress and glucose levels was I used my glasses with my red light filters. I always do that, but like lately sometimes I've been forgetting, like a couple of times per week, so I'm being super diligent about that. And then I also used the red light filter on my phone, but I did forget and didn't turn it on until like 10, so that was kind of a bust. But what I did do is I minimized my phone usage a lot last night, and then I had the absorption company sleep and the absorption company magnesium glycinate to help with winding down and sleep, and I had a great sleep score last night on Aura Ring. You know, that stuff really works. And then let's see, I used my red light in my bedroom like I always do, and then my Himalayan salt lamp in my bathroom, and no bright LED lights. So that's everything that I did last night to help with, you know, my glucose, stress levels, all of that. And then this morning I took my WLP1 by the absorption company. They send me product every month, and they just came out with this WLP1 to help with glucose levels. It increases your body's own GLP-1, so it works very much in the same way, but it's just, you know, without the side effects, the gastrointestinal side effects that come with the GLP-1s. So I'm excited to try that. It's only like my third day taking it because it just came out and they just sent it. But excited to see how that works. And then took my vitamin C, my liposomal vitamin C, and just like my morning stuff to help with all the different things. And I had about 40 grams of protein with breakfast. I did make a smoothie, which I don't normally do, but I saw this smoothie recipe on Instagram that I really wanted to try, and it's got spirulina in it and lots of like really good things, but it ended up being really disgusting. But at least I got the 40 grams of protein, so that's all that matters. Probably gonna stick to my solid foods though. I've heard that having smoothies can kind of is, you know, I don't know, I need to do some more research about it, but I've heard that it's not great for you metabolically first thing in the morning. So even though I had hardly any like hardly any sugar in it at all. Like I just had blueberries. That was the only fruit. The rest of it was all vegetables. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll stick to my solid food in the morning. And now I am headed to the gym. I'm gonna do some weight training